Hi and welcome to another episode of Fishing Western Australia. We've been all over the state today, so sit back, relax, let's have a look at what's coming up.
On today's show, we've got the story we waited 3 years to get as we travel to the best tailor fishing rock in Australia.
So there's a 4 kilo one.
We'll also share with you some secrets to almost guarantee you plenty of herring from the Perth rocks. Kalbarri is my favourite town in Australia for many reasons. The people are great, the scenery is beautiful, and it's also the best place in the whole country to target my favourite fish, the tailor. My friend Greg McDougall holds Australian tailor records captured from the spot we were heading to on this superb Kalbarri morning, the dangerous Black Rock. Amazingly, Australia's best tailor fishing is only 1 minute from the town boat ramp. So why don't more people fish at Black Rock? Simple. This place is so dangerous to fish that you have to know the Murchison River mouth like your best friend to have any chance of keeping out of trouble. Normally, huge swells pound the reef, but this morning, while still being dangerous, was the calmest I'd ever seen the rock that I've sung the praises of throughout the country.
Now already that wind's starting to get up, so it's getting pretty extreme out here. I'm using these great new lures called Predators. They're just a white blobby piece of plastic, but they're about 5 ounces and they've got a beveled front and they throw heaps of water. One treble, and I've got these great new Kevlar leaders because the tailor out here, they will swallow poppers whole. They are so aggressive. That's what you need to fish out here, but you also need a fair bit of guts, I think.
The way to fish Black Rock is to cast poppers into the foam around the reef and wind them back fast. Normally, I'd say garfish work better around reefs than poppers, but for some reason, the monster tailor at Black Rock just want to hunt fast-moving surface lures.
Yeah.
Oh, see that?
Woohoo!
Oh, you see that one?
It was a beauty! Didn't take long!
Oh, he's a ball!
That's great. He's a ball terror. Oh, jeez!
Go.
He's good. He's good. This is the calmest I've ever seen it out here, believe it or not. What a fish. I've got these brand new Kevlar leaders and I'm glad of it. There he is. Have a look at this. Have a look at this.
Oh, yeah, good one.
Look at that. Oh, I've only just got him, Greg. I need that net. Keep that rod nice and high. Keep that boat nice and out of the break. This is just hardcore fishing. He's now woken up, Greggy. I don't think I'm going to land this one. I've got a bad feeling, but we'll give it a go.
Just going back slowly so I can get it away.
This is definitely a tag team effort. There we go. We got him in the sun now. Here he comes. Oh, he'd be 3 kilos, I reckon.
Oh, nice fish.
Have a look at that. You got him?
No.
Oh no, Greg!
Oh, bloody net. Hang on.
You saw him.
We saw him.
We lost him.
We'll get him again.
Whoops, there's more. That's better.
I couldn't believe it. The huge tailor went into the net and then turned and swam back out again. Greg was dark on himself, so I knew I had to get back out and find another big one. As the morning wore on, the sou'wester came in and the rock became harder and harder to fish. We were tossed from side to side and the tailor were fussy, but you just have to keep going. At least the dolphins were having fun.
Oh, yeah. And, oh, look at
Oh!
that. Oh, man.
Now folks, really, it's a cliche, but do not try this at home. Greg has been fishing here for about 15 years, and even I don't drive here, and I'm a lunatic. So the fish are big, and it looks like fun, but really, it's not worth dying over. Yes! Oh, this is a better fish, Greg. This one's got some more weight to him. Looks like they're just coming on the bite. Oh, he's coming with the wave. Now Greg will be reversing the boat, no doubt, here to get us out of the strike zone, so to speak. Oh, this is a good fish. Got some weight. We can't really chase the fish. We have to fight them to the boat. These predators actually sink to the bottom when you cast them, and that makes them ideal because they get into the strike zone of the fish, and this is a good one. How's that net looking there, Greg? Okay, oh, good fish. Oh, through the hooks. See, I said the magic words. How's the net going, Greg? Jinxed myself. I'll land one in a minute.
Tailor have a bad habit of making these gill-flaring jumps when you hook them on lures, and a lot of the time they'll be just too good for you. Try to keep the pressure on when they jump, but in this case, I just had to wave him goodbye. Don't go away, because next I hook into some more huge tailor, but can I finally land one?
All right, where's the net, Greg? Now here in Kalbarri, this is the mouth of the Murchison River, and the waves come and break on the reef and curl around inside. It's very dangerous, but it creates the sort of water that tailor love. And they sit along the edges of the reef line where the white water and the foam is, and they work up and down through the reef along the edges of the reef. So I'm going to put my popper right where the foamy water is. And these predators are really heavy. 5 ounces this one, and they absolutely fly when you cast them. Yes!
Got him?
Yeah, I got him. He doesn't know he's hooked in here. It's all right. We saw them swimming in the waves. Look at that. He's got a mate too. Look at that, swimming with him. Unbelievable. Oh, the adrenaline just pumps here. Might need a net for this one. Oh! He's just in the side of the mouth. Don't lose him, Steve-O, don't lose him. I know you want to see him, so let's have a go. Here we go, Kalbarri Tailor. That's why this is my favourite fishing in the whole world, and look how he's nailed that predator. Giving it a big go. The predator catches the predator, and there's no extreme predator that matches a tailor for mine. This one here is about 2 kilos. The one that we lost at the net was 4. So there's all sorts of different size fish here in Kalbarri. You got to fish the rock, and as they say, Kalbarri, you can catch great fish if you smell what the rock is cooking. Now, a couple of quick things I wanted to share with you. Firstly, you can see this lure that I'm using. It's just a white blob. There's no eyes, there's no colour. Don't get fooled by the colours of lures in a tackle store. It's all about profile, what the fish sees, and it's going to see that. Just a profile that looks like something it's feeding on. And have a look at this. A few tailor. Look at that, teeth marks out of it. Gouge, gouge, gouge. They are just awesome predators. And that's an awesome predator. I reckon that foam there is the right spot to be hitting it. There's little ones, there's got to be big ones. Something after it. Surface hit! Woohoo!
Yeah, I saw that.
Whoa, yeah, this one's got some weight.
Oh, he's going too.
Need to get those hooks into him. He's going to jump forward, and then you've got to put the weight on. Easier said than done, of course. Don't touch that net yet. No, he's going to jump forward. Whoa! It's just freaking me out. I don't want to lose him, but it's just such a hard thing to try and do. Oh, that's it. Go into the sun so I can't see a thing. That's exactly what we need. That's a big fish. Need the net glare. All right, where's the net, Greg?
Yeah.
Oh, he's only just in the side. You're going to have to do your best effort. Oh, you beauty! Woohoo!
Got it.
Yes! We'll see you in a minute. Well, I have to say, folks, I was a little bit disappointed that I only managed to land a 2 kilo one. So there's a 4 kilo one, eh? Isn't that just the most magnificent tailor? Have a look at the thickness through the top of his body. It's all muscle. and he was a bit harder to land, and as soon as he hit the net, the hooks came out. So it's not easy to land them out here. I don't normally lose this many fish in a day, but there you go. We're gonna pop him back. Thanks for the fun, fella. Let's get your bearings. Look at the size of that in the water, eh? Just a magnificent fish. Off to fight another day.
Kalbarri is only 600 kilometres from Perth and an easy half-day drive to get into some of the most awesome sport fishing in the country.
Now, the herring isn't the most exciting fish in the ocean, granted, but a lot of people love catching it and a lot of people have trouble catching it. We're just going to take a few minutes here briefly to explain a few different ways you can catch herring over the Christmas holidays and any time. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is by using a burley cage. Now, this is my main line. You can see it's tied to a burley cage. Then I've got a leader, which is about 80 centimetres, and a wide gap hook. Any hook will do, but I like these because herring tend to throw them. Now, the wind's just starting to chop up the surface. You don't want it too windy for herring, quite calm. I'm going to cast out with my burley and some pieces of muley. I reckon we'll get a few herring here. And there's more ways you can catch them too, and we'll look at them after. Now, here we have a muley. I reckon they're excellent herring bait. And I'm just going to use my fingernails to strip off some flesh. Just like that. We'll use the rest of him. And on my hook, I'm just going to feed it through. Just like this. So then we have a little piece of strip bait. You can see it flashes, it flutters. It'll attract the attention of any fish that are down there, and they won't be able to get it off the hook easily. Now, here we have my bucket-o burley. I've got a little packet of maggots that I got from the tackle store, and I sprinkle them throughout the burley. And this is what we call pollard. Pollard is what you feed chickens. It's like a bran. And I've mixed it with water, fish oil, a bit of cooking oil as well, a bit of leftovers, and I get a ball and I just crush it into the cage like this. Now, it doesn't float and it doesn't sink. It's what we call neutrally buoyant. It actually floats in the top 1/3 of the water table. And that's where the herring, garfish and other small fish tend to feed. So we chuck it out there and then we get a fish. Now, burley cage gives us enough weight to get out there, and as soon as it hits the water, you wind up the slack, and I keep my rod tip nice and low. Just keep it moving, just gently. Bite, bite. Oh. Come on. Oh yeah, there you go. Straight away. And it feels like a herring, got plenty of weight. Keep that pressure on them at all times, rod tip nice and high. Oh my goodness, that is the biggest blowfish I've ever seen. I hate that. Go away. You're not part of the script. Go on. Go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. There. See ya. We want to cover as much water as we can because we don't know where the fish are. Chances are they're about 20 metres in front of us. So a nice straight cast, once again, you get your finger on the trigger like that, you tilt the rod, just flick it. And that's gone definitely far enough. We take up all the slack line so we can feel the bites, and I keep down close to the water. I've had a bite already. Just keep it moving, keep it moving. Yep. Oh, I reckon that's a garfish right there. No, it's a herring. It's pulling quite hard. This light gear just makes it awesome fun. Whoa! And when they jump at you, you've got to keep that pressure on because they are so good at getting themselves off the hook. Look at that. Fantastic. Nice fat herring. He's got that hook nicely into him. There you go. A Woodman's Point herring. There's so many of them out there, you can almost see them splashing on the surface. It's so calm. This is great. Now, you might have seen in my bucket earlier, I had a little plastic tub That's what was in it. Maggots. Ugh. Actually, they're clean maggots. They call them wogs, and you can buy them from tackle stores, and they keep them in the fridge, and they're really quite clean. But if I see garfish, they just love maggots. So I'll flip that out there, see if we can't get a different species under our belt. Yep. Oh, this one's got a bit of spirit. It might be a skippy. The way it's going, certainly putting up a good little fight. No, it's up on the surface, and I think we've got a garp. No, herring. Herring. Wow, excellent. See, they love the maggots too. That's a nice fat one. And the beauty of this burley cage is that it's keeping a lot of food in the water, in the granulated sort of powdery pollard that you're seeing coming out of the burley cages and winding in. And these things, well, they're ravenous and they love it, and that keeps them in the area. So the burley cage has not only the effect of keeping your bait moving in the right sort of zone of the water, but it keeps the fish in the area. Great invention. Yep. This one fighting pretty hard. Mind you, those trumpeters do fight hard at times. I hope it's not. No, it's not. It's silver. Oh no, get out of there. And have a look at this. It's a little skippy. Now I saw some garfish sitting out there. So we went to the maggots, and wouldn't you know it, a silver trevally. And don't they fight hard? I'll see if I can flip him over in the sun for you. Don't fall in. There you go. Have a look at that. He's undersized. They're related to those big giant trevally that you see us catching the Kimberley. And in relative terms, they fight pretty hard too. We'll pop him back. Now here at Woodman Point, this is where I actually learned how to catch herring when I was younger. We're very close to the water, so we can use the burley cage technique. It's very easy, but sometimes you're on high rocks, and that's not quite so easy to use a small rod and a burley cage, but there is a technique for that as well. Let's have a look at that one.
The Dawesville Channel in Mandurah is one of the best herring spots near Perth, and the south wall is too high to fish with a small rod. Here, I use my longer beach rod and 6 kilo line with a running float or blob. I tie it off with a swivel and use a metre long length of mono to my hook. The trick is that I run a piece of green tubing onto the shank of the hook, and this acts as a lure. Cast the blob out into the clean water and use a steady retrieve back to the rocks. Herring will think it's a small bait fish, and using no bait at all, you can catch as many herring as you need and impress your friends.
This is where that long rod really starts to come into its own, because landing the fish with a small rod here would be very difficult. And the wide gap hooks also help because it makes it hard for them to get off. And there's stacks out there. So there you go. 2 very simple techniques that you can use and the whole family can use to catch herring. One for rocks like this, one for higher rocks. So anytime you go rock fishing, you know at least you can catch yourself some herring. For those of you that want lots more information after the show, remember to log on to fishingwa.com. It's our own website with over 400 pages of information to help you catch more fish right here in WA. There's advice, there's GPS coordinates, there's rigs, there's knots, there's spots, there's articles, there's movies, there's everything you need to know to catch fish in Western Australia. Remember, www.fishingwa.com. I've hit him, and he's still going.
On our next episode, we've got a real treat for you as we head north and witness the largest ever marlin tagged in Coral Bay, all on stand-up tackle.
That's it! 200 kilo marlin on stand-up! Well, there's more fish on today's show than I've seen fishing here. It's lucky I taped it, so I better go home and have a watch. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Fishing Western Australia.